face the entrance. Please stay standing, everyone, and if you're able to. And I want to call up all the 7th graders. I spoke to some of you, 6th, 7th graders. I told you were going to be coming on up here, but for those who just arrived, surprise! They're going to be leading us in a couple blessings tonight. On page 144 is Hatzi Kaddish. We continue on page 146 with our call to worship the Baruch Hu. I want to call the 3rd and 4th graders to the Bima, and they're going to be doing a version that's a little bit different than what you have right. Actually, the Hebrew is all the same, but they're adding a little bit of English to it.
Go with your class. I need a second. La 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 la, la 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 la, la la la, la. Are you listening to my prayers? Can you hear my voice? Can't you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? returns tonight. Tonight, Adonai.
Hello, my name is Diana and I'm going to teach you about Shin. Shin is the 24th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It makes a sound accomplishing one letter that English needs both S and H to do. Shin is the first letter of the Hebrew word Shema, which means hear. What might this mean? The first step to hearing is to quiet down. Being quiet creates space for something new to reach us. That is why the first sound in the word Shema is
Quiet ourselves. Okay, thank you, Diana. Next, Mara is going to teach us about Mem.
Hello, my name is Mara, and I'm going to teach you about Mem. Mem is the 15th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It makes a Ma sound, like the English letter M. Mem is the first letter of my name, Mara. Mem is also the first letter of the Hebrew word Tuka, which means sweet. And Mem is also the second letter of the word Shema, Shema. What might this mean? The second step to hearing is to savor the sweetness of what we're receiving. That is why the second sound in the word Shema is
Thank you, Mara. All right, and lastly we have Ayn, which Paxton will read.
Hello, my name is Paxton, and I'd like to teach you about Ayin. Ayin is the 18th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Like Aleph, Ayin is a silent letter that takes on the sound of any vowel attached to it. Ayin is the first letter of the Hebrew word Olam, Olam, which means world or universe. And Ayin is also the third letter of the word Shema, Shema. What might this mean? The third step to hearing is to recognize that by listening, whether listening to others, listening to our own inner voice, or listening to God. We have the whole world to gain. That is why the third sound of the word Shema is Ah.
I hope we all learned a little something. Thank you so much to our readers. And now, let's say the Shema. Everyone, please share.
Yisrael, Eloheinu, Adonai, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Hato Le'olam Vayeh. Baruch Shem Kevod Shem Hato Le'olam Vayeh. Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
May be seated, except for our 7th graders. We'll come back up to the
You
Bima.
can
And lead us in the Vahafta, a blessing of love, on page 154.
Aka and Ola Ukor Shacha Ola Decha Hayu Halu Advarim Asher Anochim Matarayim Yom Alevecha Bishnatam Avnecha V'tipatabam B'shevriyav Dverech Shemayam Amecha Shematam Alot Yadecha Noyalot Vienecha Ukaftam Amu Nuzot Techa Uvshiarecha Leman Tikru Hasin et Mikol Mizrai Yihayam Tim Elohim Haniya Na Elohim Esh Eretz Mitzrayim Yod Lachem Elohim Ani Na Elohim.
Right. I want to call up our third, fourth graders back to the bima one more time.
Go, Zach, one more time.
For our song of freedom, Micha Mocha. You can find the words on page 158.
Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nekah b'kodesh, yitorah nachim yitorah nekah b'kodesh. Hallelujah, forever, Lord, for save forever.
I love that version so much. I'm so glad you chose it all. All right, we continue with our blessing, our evening blessing, the Hashki Venu. You can find some of the words on page 160.
So this version of Hashki Venu is a mashup between Hashki Venu and the song One Day by Masya.
Benu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, B'Amidenu
actually you can go to your seats, but stand at your seats because we're going to rise for the Amidah on page 164.
Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Ria, El Gadol, Agabor, Nora, El Elyon Komel, Hasadim Tovim, Ekol Nekayako, Choser, Chazadel, Omer, Rod, Kula, Yain, Anshemo, Bava, Nekhazi, Bachim, Baruch atah Adonai, yeah, Lazarah. Elohim, Aromer, Akabim, Babim, Olel, Osim, Achayim, Asabri, Zorem, Matov, Ishayala, You're supposed to stand up.
We take the next few moments for silent prayer, and when you're done, you may be seated.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Yes, you may.
Turn to the middle, page 371, for our blessing of healing called Kesher Hebrew. If there's anyone in your life, in your community, that could use a blessing of healing, whether they're ailing from something physical, spiritual, emotional, any kind of ailment, I encourage you to say their name as I look around the room. Adele John.
Bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
Jason back up to the bima. And the rest of the 3rd, 4th grade class.
Again, Zach.
All right. Our last presentation for you is going to be a quick story. We have a rabbi who's a great storyteller, and so we thought we'd share one of our own. So here's how the story goes. All of the Aleph Bet were playing Gaga, which is everyone's favorite game. And everyone was out. So the only 2 letters left were Dalet and Bet. So everyone else, you can sit on the stairs because you're out. Oh, we also need Lucy. Okay. So we have Dalet and Bet. Will you come stand in the center? And we have Lincoln, who's Vav. Come on, Lincoln. Now, Vav was also out, but Vav was very interested in what was happening in the game. So Vav was standing off to the side, watching closely. You all know Vav stands straight up, but with his head tilted forward in interest. Perfect. Okay. So let's get some insight from Bet and Dalet before we tell the story. Let's go with Bet first. James.
Hi, I'm Bet. I'm actually James, but you can all imagine that I'm Bet. Bet is the 2nd letter of the Hebrew alphabet. I make the bus sound like the English letter B. Bet is also the 1st letter of the Hebrew word boker, which means morning. That's why every morning we say boker tov, which means good morning. But in Hebrew we don't just respond to boker tov with another boker tov. Instead we respond with boker or, which means morning light. How poetic. If you excuse me, it's time for me to crush Dalet and skin Gaga.
We'll see what Dalet has to say about that. Abigail?
Hi, I'm Dalet. Actually, I'm Abigail, but you can all imagine that I'm Dalet. Dalet is the 5th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It makes the dot sound like the English letter D. Dalet is also the 1st letter of the Hebrew word dot, which means fish. That's right, the Hebrew word for fish is dot. So if you live in Israel and you ask your parents for a pet dog, don't be surprised if they come home with a fish tank. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to show back to you the real boss in this Gaga pit.
So Dalet and Bet were playing Gaga with a ball that was actually just a dot. And Lucy's going to help us show it what that looked like. So Dalet and Bet were hitting the dot back and forth. And remember, Vav was watching very closely. Then, out of nowhere, Bet hit the Gaga ball so hard that it flew out of the Gaga pit and over Vav's head, and Vav said,
Oh!
"Oh!"
Clever.
Then Vav thought to himself, that ball could have hit me in the head. I'm going to take a few steps back. So Vav took a few steps back, and I didn't really think about this, but really Bet should be out for hitting the ball out of the pit. But they forgave him. We kept playing, so the ball kept going back and forth, back and forth. Perfect. And again, Bet hadn't learned his lesson. He hit the ball so hard that it flew out of the Gaga pit and actually hit Vav right in the stomach. And Vav said, "Ooh." And that is why when you see a Vav with a dot above its head, it goes, "Oh." And when you see a Vav with a dot in its stomach, it goes, "Ooh." And that's the story. Thank you so much.
Ta-da!
I can smell pizza.
Thank you, 3rd, 4th grades. You can be seated at your seats. That was an amazing story. I wish that's how I learned the Hebrew alphabet when I was your age. That is so much fun. All right, so I'm just going to share a really brief explanation of a story that's happening right now. So this week in the Torah, we learn about one of my very favorite stories in the Torah. So as you might remember, Jacob is not only a little sneaky, disguising himself so that he can steal his father's blessing from his brother Esau, he is also now really scared because Esau has threatened to chase him down for doing so. And so Jacob runs away back to his extended family in a town called Haran. And on the way, he has a strange dream of angels going up and going down a stairway or a ladder. It's one of the most famous dreams in all of literature, and this is the original Stairway to Heaven. Some of you might really love that Led Zeppelin song, one of the most played songs in all of radio history, right? So when he gets to Haran, he meets and falls in love with one of his distant cousins. Her name is Rachel, but Jacob's uncle, Laban, is no less sneaky than Jacob. In fact, you might say the whole extended Abraham family has just the sneaky gene in them. So he tricks Jacob by switching the older sister Leah for the younger sister Rachel. Jacob winds up working 7 more years in order to marry Rachel. Rachel and Leah ultimately become the ancestors to all the Jews. This story is just filled with lots and lots of tricking and deceit. The characters are not always honest with each other. As you can imagine, there's probably a lot of life lessons in all of this. But the part that I was drawn to this week is just the dream. In short, dreams have meaning, and I think that's what it's teaching us. Jews have always been fascinated by dreams and dream interpretation. From ancient times, Jewish people have sensed that sometimes dreams can reveal something really important about a person. Who here remembers their dreams? How many have dream journals? Maybe a few less. Okay. So Jacob's dream teaches us, I think, that maybe we should try and pay more attention to the dreams that we have at night. They just might have something really important to teach us. So if you're like me, you probably forget your dreams the second you remember you just had a dream, right? So my charge for all of you for this Shabbat and this week is to write down your dreams as quickly as you can so that you can share them with your family. You may get a direct message from God, or you may not get a direct message from God like Jacob did, but at the very least, you'll learn something about yourself, I hope, and you might even have a good laugh as well. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.